Welcome back everyone. Yeah, it's a bit different. I'm actually using my time-lapse camera because my camcorder has officially packed up. That's it, it's finished. It's the IS, it's like the sensor's gone on it. It's gone all purple and I thought, do you know what? Let's just use the time-lapse camera for now because it is an action camera and I'll have to wait until sort of save up and get a new 4K camcorder, which is what I'm planning to do next. Is it really worth it, you know, for the views I'm getting? It doesn't really matter because I like doing these experiments. But anyway, we are officially the 10th of June. We've gone past 10:15 this beautiful morning, and this is what it's been like pretty much the remainder of the past couple of days. Pretty crap, to be honest with you. Now the clouds have more or less cleared. Let's turn the camera around because I've noticed, obviously I can't zoom in, or can I? I don't know. No, I can't. Okay, never mind. But yeah, you can see there is some very faint trails. I don't know if you can be able to see that. It's like a big like white blanket right here. And I'll just do an overall 360 turn. It's going to look completely different to the normal videos I upload. And do you know what? It's getting a bit misty, a bit white hazy. So there we go. So far, it's this. I'd be interested to see once the clouds are gone, what actually this is, a trail, or possibly what I call a cirrus, like this over here in a photo I'll just put on screen. But yeah, so far so good. Can you not hear that? Bloody June bug. I mean, it's like flipping helicopter. So yeah, there we go. So far so good. Look at that, it looks completely different to the videos I normally upload. I'll come back in the next half an hour and keep our eyes to the skies. Right, I am back. We are coming up to pretty much nearly 12:30, and it's been obviously a few hours later. It's been pretty much like this, overcast, can't really see anything. But now the clouds started to move away. I'm going to show you something. Now hopefully you'll be able to see this. This is 4K footage. There is one trail there, and see that high cloud? If I zoom in and be able to see it, it's this altocumulus type cloud, which is that high altitude cloud. In regards of the white haze, it's still there in some places, but in terms of trails, nothing so far. Let's just do a 360 turn so you can see. And it's mostly this cumulus, as you can see through the time lapse. But nevertheless, you can see this altocumulus. I can't even zoom in. Can I zoom in? Hold on. No, I can't zoom in. Okay, I'll have to do it manually then, that's fine. You see, but all in all, it's actually turned out to be quite a nice day. That sunshine is really nice. There we go. Right, I'll catch you about an hour. What anything interesting happens. Here we go, this is a better look. Definitely cirrus. And you can see the trails over there. Very, very faint. Once again, I am back. It's been a few hours later. We're coming up to quarter to, well, pretty much nearly 4 o'clock really, actually, think about it. It's been a few trails, but all in all, nothing really sufficient to actually block out the sun, because we've got this massive cumulus that's been doing the job for us. There we go. Nevertheless, I'll be back in a few hours. I'm off to do a bit of exercise and see what the skies will be like once again on this beautiful day we're having. I am back. It is around about 6:30, and you can see we've got the trails in the sky. Look at this. It's always in the evening. Why is that? It's not like mass amounts of trails. I did notice, in fact, probably that was the one I saw when I was driving home. I did notice a quick pan of the sky, really faint. It's really faint. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the time lapse back on, and as this is coming my direction, we're going to see what these trails actually do. Because once again, they keep showing up in the evening. Why in the evening? That makes no sense. It's supposed to block out the sun, right? Well, I'm not entirely sure about that. I think there's something else to it. I think we'll talk about it in a further episode. But all in all, let's see what this does. Here is a close-up shot of the trails. You see what I mean? If you've been following my time-lapse videos, you can see that these trails they appear around about this time. Around about 6 o'clock, around about now. They just appear. Small, faint, not all the time. Here's some pictures from, oh God, this was taken last year in the summer. And these were like thick trails. But eventually they dissipated, believe it or not. Looking at the size of them, believe it or not. But you can see they're really faint. They're so faint. But it is a very reoccurring thing. Trails just keep forming, short trails. Like this, dense. Well, that's dense, that's like thin, you know, thin see-through, so to speak. Makes no sense why they would spray just that area. Do you know what I mean? Or is it something natural? A very short time has passed. The trails are dissipating. No. You got to think about this. Either one it's sprayed. It's not to block out the sun. Sun's going down. It's over there. You see it. It's sprayed for chemicals. I don't know. But there's such a reoccurring thing. Very faint trails, short like this, and they dissipate. Look, does it sound more plausible that this could be natural? The fact that, yes, trails can persist, but you would classify them as these as contrails. Alright? Again, humidity and those other factors need to be taken into consideration. Look, I don't know the technical details. I do the best I can on clouds and how weather is formed, and clouds can give you an indication what's basically up in the atmosphere, especially when it comes to like cirrus clouds, which is a very reoccurring thing of clouds we keep seeing. And at this point, I don't know. I will leave the decision to you. I am back. As you can see, that is the remaining of the trails, and we also have this big mass of white haze. Don't know where it's come from, no idea. And I don't think the time lapse will see it, I think it's out of frame, but that is the remainder of the trails, which goes to show that the trails have dissipated. And so far, look at it, it's looking absolutely amazing, stunning. And tomorrow is supposed to be really good weather, fingers crossed. But that, my lovely jubblies, is the remaining of the trails, except for that. We are coming up to, well, it's just gone past 8 o'clock in the evening, and we have more trails. Interesting. I wonder if the time lapse might pick this up. I think it's a bit too far out the distance, out of view, but nevertheless we do have the cirrus. Overall, those trails. What the hell are you looking at, mate? Yeah, you. I'm looking at you. Right. Yeah, those trails, I'm not too sure what they're going to do. I think they come in our direction. So let's see what happens in a short period of time. What do these trails do? It is 9 o'clock in the evening, and it's still light. Look at this. We've got a few cirrus and a little bit of white haze, but this is interesting. I'm going to point the camera. We have a bunch of trails. Look at that. I think it's the latest time I've seen these trails. persist at night. There we go. I'll keep the time lapse running, and then we can make an assessment. So I'll keep the time lapse running, and hopefully this white haze might make its way up. There's quite a few trails. There we go. Right, pop back in about half an hour. Final evening as we're coming up to 10 o'clock at night. And it's still light as we'll be coming to the longest day of the year. It's my cat and the fox. Right, Roxy? And the trails are pretty much disappeared in that area. And it's all pretty clear. It's supposed to be a really nice day tomorrow, apparently. So maybe, just maybe, it might be full of trails. Once again, let's look at the time-lapse video for the remainder of that day. Let's put it a bit bigger so you can see. Right, I've just sped it up a bit. So as you can see, pretty much throughout the morning, there's mass amounts of cumulus cloud, which pretty much blocked out the sun for the vast majority of the day. And here we have the cumulus. I did notice like the white haze in the background there. It was very, very faint, but primarily was just this cumulus, as you can see here. This big puffy clouds, as one can see. Let's just skip ahead because it was mostly the evening which got my attention. And it was around about 6 o'clock. This cloud started to disappear, and then the trails start to come in. Ah, here it is. There's the trails. Very faint. I keep on seeing this over and over again, guys. Honestly, it's such a reoccurring thing. And this lingered throughout the night, actually. But pay attention to this bit. These trails, is it lingering? Is it spreading out? And to be honest, in some certain degree, if I just go back just slightly, these ones dissipate. I remember I was filming this part and these trails in the sky. Now let's see what these do. Some of them actually dissipate. I remember this bit clearly. And once again, they're really dissipating. That's interesting to see that on the side there. So once again, let's repeat this one more time. And the trails pretty much disappear. So they didn't really last that long. This is interesting. I caught the glimpse of that in the video. See how that cloud just appears out of nowhere? Isn't that cool? But in terms of the trails, they're not really doing anything. Now, I remember around about 9 o'clock, I remember in the distance, here's a photograph of it, load of trails in the background, and I think it was making its way up pretty much now. Yeah, there we go. A lot of cirrus. See that whispery cloud? That's cirrus. Definitely cirrus. The trail is right here. So it is blended in with this white haze. Could be done with spraying. It could be done something natural. Honestly, guys, like I said, cirrus stratus and even the stratus can create this white haze. And also the spraying of the skies can do that as well, which pretty much mimics that, just artificial. But in terms, let's just go back where those trails started to appear. Just one more time. Are these trails here definitely spreading out bigger? But they're very faint, guys. This is what I mean. It's not sufficient enough to really block out the sun. And bear in mind, this is like 8 o'clock, coming to like 9 o'clock in the evening. And by the time it is 8 hours, as you can see here, a clear example, a vast majority of these trails just dissipate. And the mainstream media will say, well, that's because the temperatures are going down, the sun's going down. Well, okay, all right, I'll put that on the cards. But I do have plenty of footage of trails disappear at this time period, which is in the evening. So I'm just looking at both sides here, and it's up to you what conclusions you come up with. But one more time, once again, the trails pretty much dissipate in the evening. So there we go. Once again, did the trails block out the sun? Unfortunately, it didn't. No. But today is a clear day, and we will get those days when it's extremely persistent. And I'm just waiting. But again, guys, I have to stress this.
I am not a denier, and this is not a debunking episode or any of the shows that I do. I just look at 50-50 and just have a real clear perspective for me and for you to learn. All right. And chems are real. Okay. I'm just going to state that now. But not every single trail we see in the sky is a chem or weather manipulation. Anyway, I'll catch you next time on Investigate with Nick and of course, at Twilight. I'll see you soon.